Hello, this is Brian Peterson from Help My Marketing, and in this video I'm going to talk about how you can get access to unlimited proxies on demand. And I'm going to make a little review of this piece of software called Proxy Multiply. I've been using this software for about a year now, and if you're familiar with internet marketing or search optimization in general, you probably already have a lot of tools installed on your computer that requires proxy. Of course, you can go to different websites and you can rent a proxy. Usually you would pay about $1 to $2 per proxy. So if you're using maybe 50 or 100 proxies per month, it's an expense of several $100s. I faced that myself, and to be honest, I think it's pretty annoying just to have a recurring payment of maybe $100 or $200 a month for something I can actually get on the internet for free. So that's why I decided that I want to do a comprehensive research of different tools that would allow me to scrape and harvest proxies free of charge on the internet. My absolute favorite is Proxy Multiply, and the reason why is it's running 24/7 on my VPS server, and there's a lot of features that enables other software to get access to the proxies it's scraping and testing. But let me give you a quick overview. You have an import button here, and if you already have a list of proxies you want to test, you can put it into the software. I usually not do this because I simply just let the software scrape for proxies on its own. There's also an export feature. If you want to export the working proxies, you can decide which format, text file, CSV file. You can export to one file, separate them. You can decide what kind of proxies you would like to export, like anonymous or elite or Google enabled proxies. There's also a built-in test feature that would test all proxies or the selected proxies, so you can see which one is actually working. As you can see here, here's a proxy that's already been tested. It's fast and it's less than 1 second, and it's highly anonymous. It was tested 8 minutes ago. You can also sort the list by deleting proxies if you want to. Let's say you want to delete the ones that's not Google enabled, then you can do that. You can also just click on this button if you want to use a proxy in your web browser. There's also a help button in case you need help with the software, and there's also 2 add-ons, and let me just talk very briefly about what they're doing. There's a search booster and there's a proxy booster. And why you are using these add-ons would be to find even more resources for proxies. Let's say Proxy Multiply would find a proxy on the internet. Then it would go to the search engine and try to locate other websites with the same proxy on, because if someone has posted a list of proxies, there's a good chance if one proxy is located, there's probably a lot other. Then it would grab all those URLs, and you can import those URLs into the software as resources, so you would have a complete leech site. And there's also a booster that would be able to help the software to get rid of dead proxies and not scrape the same resources. Sometimes it might be a forum thread with a list of proxies, and even before you start to download those proxies, they're dead already. So if the software has tested some of those proxies already, there's no need to go to that specific site again and try to download proxies from a URL if the proxies are already dead. So that's, I would actually say that these 2 features are mandatory, so that's the reason why you should buy the Plus version. So you can see here, there's also some, I can stop the software, and I can also configure it. It's pretty simple to do. It's just clicking on the button, and then you can see there's different settings here. You can set a timer for crawlings, and you can decide how deep the crawler should go. There's port filtering if you only want to have proxies that's working on specific ports. And one of the very cool features is you can actually decide if you only want to work with specific proxies from specific countries. So then you can check city and regions. So let's say you only want to have proxies from US, and maybe for a specific city in US, you can actually let the software scrape for proxies in this particular city. And same goes for country filtering. Maybe you don't want to have proxies from Russia or China or something, so then you can exclude those countries. There's a proxy testing feature that allows you to remove dead proxies from your list. It also tests for HTTP proxy and SOCKS. And you can also import your own URLs for proxy scraping. A very cool feature is the automation process. So you can set a different interval, maybe every 15 or 30 or 60 minutes. You can see here I have it set to 10 minutes. And if there's less than 500 working proxies, then it should just keep running. When you have a working list of proxies, you can actually set the software to send you an email with a list of those working proxies. You can also use file output, so you would make a file with your working proxies. And this is actually what I'm doing. I am making a file and I'm saving it on a Dropbox folder, so I have access to that particular file from different VPS servers. So that means a software like GScraper can just import the working proxies maybe once every 30 minutes. You can also upload it via FTP if you want to put them on a website, and you can even put a script. If you have a script installed on your computer or VPS, you can run that particular script and ask the software to run the service for you. You can see here there's already some pre-made settings that makes it pretty simple for everyone to decide what kind of proxies they want to use. You can see here under General, this is just proxies for all purpose, transparent proxies, anonymous, and elite proxies. So if you want to make sure that you only aim for elite proxies, you can simply just click on this button and then the software would automatically search and filter elite proxies only. If you're using tools like Scrapebox, you can just click on this box, simply just to scrape for proxies that is to be used for Scrapebox. If you're using a software like Ultima Niche Finder or No Hands SEO, you can use those settings. Perhaps you're working with websites like YouTube or Twitter or Ticketmaster, and then you can use those settings for website-specific proxies. Another thing is you can also determine how fast the proxy should be. So maybe you don't want to use slow proxies that is more than 7 seconds to load. That usually give you a very bad performance. So I would say medium to fast is the best result. So just by clicking one of those buttons would actually allow you to have the software set up and ready to run, and then it's just to let it run and do its job. And if we look at the interface, you can see here, you can always scroll up here and see what's actually going on. You can see here a while back, it fetched 18,000 URLs from different URLs. And right now there's 12,000 proxies being ready for testing. And out of those 12,000, I have 77 proxies, and those are all elite proxies. So in other words, if I have to go buy those proxies rented somewhere, elite proxies, it will cost me like $1 or $2 per proxy. So that would have saved me for more than $150 actually. So I just installed this software on my VPS server and it's running 24/7, and I just need to access my Dropbox folder, and then I always have a list of fresh proxies. So if you need proxies, I would definitely recommend you to use Proxy Multiply. It's easy to use, it's easy to set up, and you can actually just click on the link below the video and download the software, and there's a 7-day free of charge trial, so you can test the software before you decide to make a purchase.